Testing 1, 2, 3. We're good. Are we live online already? Or are we not quite there yet? We're good? Okay, welcome everyone. This is Sunday, July 14th. My name is Mark. I am a student here since 2009, I guess. And I'll be leading this Sunday. It's part of our regular 11 o'clock hour. We also have first Sundays, we usually have a half hour at 10:30 where Aiden and Harvey are co-founders. You may not be able to see him off screen right now, but he's sitting with us right now. Harvey's here. They'll usually give a half hour teaching series or exposition ongoing series. It looks like we don't have any here in person, any first timers, but if there were, we'd welcome them. So if you're online for the first time, welcome. I'm glad that you're here with us. We'll be doing our sitting meditation. I don't need to explain to people here the book, but we will have our practice prayers, and we'll also be passing around the red book. So if you at now or at break time want to put names, we'll read it at the end. And online, you can submit it to our people as well. So we will start shortly. We'll be doing a settling meditation, the one that was given to us by one of our guiding teachers in Tibet, in China, Adzim Rinpoche. Anne and Harvey asked for a teaching that was easily accessible, simple and profound, something that would be meaningful to anyone at any point in their life, be they Buddhist or not, something that would be accessible and something that could be used daily or even just for someone who's stopping by once. So we'll be going back and forth between resting our attention, resting ourselves into our breath, and also resting into sound, into chanting sound, listening to sound together. We'll be spending this about half an hour or so, kind of in fairly silent, fairly still. So we want to be able to have a sustainable and comfortable posture. So if you're a singer, you may have heard of kind of like stacking the coins, kind of a natural curve to your spine. We want to have a comfortably straight, fairly natural, not literally straight, but the natural curve in our spine. We want to have our legs in a place that we can hold them fairly still. So if you're sitting in a chair, feet on the floor, if you're sitting on the floor, you can have your legs crossed. You can have your hands resting in your lap or on your knees. So you can kind of just get comfortable into the posture at first. It's good to be aware of our bodies, so it's a good time to kind of settle in if you need to stretch or kind of jostle into place. We'll be resting more into our breath. Our breath is a natural gateway into our mind, into our body. It's kind of into our level of stress, into how distracted we are. It's always present, but it's always changing. So it's a nice way to also be present into our body. Kind of moves our whole body. So we'll settle at some point into our breath. If you want to keep your eyes open, that's part of our tradition. Usually, 5 or so feet ahead, a little down, not looking at anything in particular. It's particularly helpful if you're feeling tired or kind of lethargic to have that energy from just the visual senses coming in. It's a nice way of also being open and present to another aspect of our experience. But if you're also quite distracted or quite jostled mentally, you can keep your eyes closed. So we can just be open right now to kind of what's going on, my voice, the room. Feel the support from outside, whatever's holding you up, the floor, the chair. That stability from the earth around us. and touch into your own body's support through your bones, your joints, the sinews, the muscles, providing that support for you to be here. If there's any energetic support, kind of deep at your core, your central channel, your energy, just in the deepest part of yourself, holding you here. Just be open if there is some experience of that. And so now we'll turn to resting our attention, resting ourselves into our breath. Wherever you can find it. In our tradition, we usually follow the breath deep into our belly, even a few finger widths below the belly button, into the do, the dantian, if you can access it there. This is a time to be calm, steady, accepting of the sensations that come and go. Maybe curious about things coming and going. And also courageous when we get distracted to let it go, to not judge ourselves, to get wound up in it. This is as much a practice about noticing our distraction, not getting wound up in that process, and acknowledging it, letting it go, returning. So we'll build acceptance for ourselves and calmness into our experience, a deepening experience. If it's a 1 time a minute, 1,000 times a minute, we'll just repeat, going back to our breath, to that deep part of ourselves. I'll ring the bell, and after some time we'll go back, we'll switch to chanting as well. now we'll transition to chanting sound home, home at your own pace. Sensing into this and the feelings, the sounds, as much as you can directly into it. Ephemeral, not lasting, but still there, energetic. Om, 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 As the sound fades, you might be left with new sensations in your body, change in perspective in the room. Be curious about that. Feel into it. Notice it arise and change and go. Return to your breath, settling in, the rising, the staying, the going. And when you find yourself distracted, acknowledge it. Notice if you're not accepting or if you're judging yourself for it. And let go of that too. And when you can, return to your breath, however often that happens. Om Ho. Om Be open to how sensations, sound, or silence, how your body feels different, how it changes, how it dances around. And when that fades, return to your breath, settling in, leaving more and more space. Om Ho. Before we end, we want to turn our focus, just start being open to how we're different now, or how we were impacted, if we're impacted by the last half an hour or so. You can open yourself up to your body overall. Open yourself up to your mind or your emotions. Just take a minute just to take in how you feel the same or how you feel different. If there's anything that you're grateful for, relish it. It's good to acknowledge anything that you genuinely appreciate. We can add a little aspiration if there's anything that you wish you aspire to take to yourself moving forward today or in the future, or take from today to others. Just leave a moment for aspiration. So we'll take a break. We can, as mindfully as we please, interact with each other and have fun and have snacks, use the restrooms. We'll come back in about 10 minutes and we'll have a brief sit in dedication and closing. I like the head. It looks part surgeon, part Chernobyl. I don't know if you've seen Chernobyl recently. It's a good TV show. Yeah, it's on HBO. It's pretty good. All the the techs or whatever wear the like the surgeon scrubs. Mhm. Are we online? Was that all recorded? I don't get any money from HBO or Chernobyl or anything. Okay, so we're back. We've got a few minutes left at the end of the hour. So we will, this is our time to settle back in, to have a brief meditation, and to more formally kind of send our aspirations and our dedications out to ourselves in the future, to those in time and space moving forward. So we'll settle back into our posture in a slightly formal way. So if you want to have your naturally straight, comfortable back, relaxed muscles as much as you can, relaxed mind, open mind, beginner's mind, whatever works for you. We'll settle back into our breath for just about half a minute, just to recenter, respace, resettle. So we'll do our 3 ahs. So kind of bringing to mind, bringing to the center of our body, whatever strength, positivity, karma, any merit, anything that you feel that was important about this hour, about today so far. When we sound ah the first time, we'll let it spread through our body, trickling down, kind of percolating through our whole body, down to every cell, hair, muscle. We'll just be lighting up with light. And with our next ah, the light will go out, dancing through the whole room, through ourselves, here online, sharing with each other, giving and taking, just a kind of a joyous sense. With our last style, we spread it out through the world, through Houston, through wherever you are, out by block, city by city, across the land, the depths, out into space, wherever anyone, anything needs that light, wants that light. There's space, there's light everywhere. A joyous expanse. So now we'll read we'll read the closing aspirations. We'll sing them and sing our dedication and our blessing. And I'll read the names that we're thinking of today. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, every one, to reach to that very ground. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. And thinking of all beings, ourselves, everywhere, we particularly today also think of Porfirio, Tomas, Miss Deedon, flood victims in Louisiana, Texas, Nepal, Tara, Francis, Albert, Tom, Ernest, David for job, Tio Juan, Lara, Deborah, the planet, ending world conflict, David Lee's son, Bardo, Lee family, Camachos, Mike, Anne, her sister, Darren, Anthony, Greg, Joyce, Cheryl, Karen and family, Emma Ong, Dr. John Bardo, Sylvia Rolando, Leanne Nathaniel, Stuart Sheets, Bob Troy, Ron Burian, Mike Clover Bardo, Marjorie, Ann Morris, Nora, Berard, Callie, Safe Travels, and the Johnson family for their newborn daughter, Nora. Not sure if that's the same Nora. And we'll close with one more brief just to send it out. Thank you all for coming. This is the time where you are fresh and open-minded, and we usually say our announcements to where your mind is most receptive. But I don't know. So we have our first Sunday will be coming up in August with Anne and Harvey. I'm not sure if it'll be Anne and or Harvey. We have our first and third Teaching Tuesday series with Dent and Harvey on self-compassion and compassion. It is we have interactive dyadic work where we have both meditation, discussion, and kind of like large lecture teaching format, and we also have dyadic kind of meditation sessions between each other. It's both digital and online. It's actually very, very inspiring and powerful. So that'll be this Tuesday. We have a retreat in September. It'll be a weekend retreat on severing or the J practice, which is a very powerful and beautiful practice that we've learned and will continue to learn. So for those of us who are not taking our medical boards, I don't know if Adam, if you're taking medical boards, it's the weekend before that, so it's a very narrow range of people who it'll affect. I don't know of any other announcements. Our home is quickly progressing, and we are looking forward to that, but there's no definitive date of our move to Fuqua. But for now, we're very appreciative of ISH to be hosting us. So this is our temporary home for now. and in our hearts and in our own wisdom that we take with us everywhere. So hopefully that deepened a little today. Okay, thank you.